So today is the first day for Junk Journal January, and today's word is resolutions. I came up with a couple different ideas, but the one that stuck with me the most is learning something new. So I found these really cool graphics in the newspaper for New Year, New Canvas, New Hope. And I like to find things in duplicate or triplicate to have fun with them. So I'm going to make 3 fun pockets, and I hope that you enjoy coming with me. So first, what I'm going to do is take them and back them against regular paper because the newspaper is very thin. And to do that, I'm just going to grab my glue stick. And this is just spare paper I had. It doesn't matter what side you're going to use because this is going to be a pocket. Actually, that glue stick is done. So let me grab another. And I thought to do this 2 or 3 different ways, but I finally came up with the idea to do it this way. And then what I'll do when I'm done reinforcing it is I will cut a little lip in through there, and I might even reinforce a little more. Then next, what I'm going to do is make sure I didn't get too long for my page. And I actually did go longer than I thought I was going to go. So I will end this on just New Year, not New Canvas, and I will take it and I will fold it down at the end of the page. And then, since I'm looking for a little bit of bulk anyway, I'm just going to double it over the page. Glue it on. Also going to strategically glue on these little extra pieces. Gonna do kind of one on the side. One on the other side. Oops, we got a rip. That's okay. And one in the middle. The thing about working with newspaper is it is very delicate. So we actually wound up with 2 rips, but if I'm careful, I can either piece it back on there or I can kind of add it into another part. I think I like it here. All right, so I'm going to put it in there. I'm gonna let that dry and I'll be right back. All right, now I'm just gonna take a small paring knife, a table knife, and I'm gonna cut along the top of each one of these to kind of make them a pocket. So we're not very sharp and I think I'm gonna mess it up. So what I might do is try to get a pair of scissors in here after I get an opening. I feel like I'm messing it up a little, and obviously I don't need it there. So let me go get a pair of sharp scissors and I'll be back. Okay, take two. I'm gonna go in with my scissors and I'm just gonna cut across the top most of the way. Now these graphics really weren't straight, and adding the piece at the top is also not straight. So cutting it straight now I'm not very happy with. But what I'm going to add to it next, you probably won't be able to see it, and I just might ink the edges as well. So hopefully that will turn out okay. And I wanted this to pop, so I hope you like the surprise I have for the top of the page. All right, so we have pocket 2, pocket 3, and this will be the original pocket. And I'll just cut that one out a little bit more nicer than the other ones. But again, it's not going to matter at the end of the day. Again, I'm going to check the size into here. And we're good on height. I kind of like things to stick out of the journal a little bit as I go through, so I'm happy with that. And I can trim up these two edges later when I get done. So I will be right back with next steps. All right, so in order to do my next piece, I actually do have to cut this to size because I won't be able to cut it with what I plan to put on the top of it. So I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, and what I plan to put on top of them is paintbrushes, and I'm going to have to point them this way and make sure that they don't exceed the inside. And this one's going to be a top, and that's the chunkiest, so just thought I'd keep that in mind. So there's going to be one here and one here and one here. Very cool, very awesome. I'll be right back. All right, before I glue, I'm going to ink purple around the edges. I already have a lot of black on this stamp pad, but I'm going to try to help clean up my ratchety cutting by making it a little dark. I'm left-handed and I do a lot of things left-handed, but having the camera on the left-hand side means that you guys get to see the edge of my hand a lot, so I don't want that. So all right, I'm going to clean this up because I still don't like how rough the edges are, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my paintbrushes and I'm going to line them up where I want them, and I'm going to take some Fabri-Tac and I'm just going to glue them down. Oh, that was interesting. So I'm just going to run the brush here. Make sure I don't stick it totally down onto the thing. And then we'll take the next brush and do the same. I think I might angle that one just a little bit. Try not to glue the hole shut. Okay. I've never used Fabri-Tac on plastic before, so we're going to give it a try. If I need to, what I will wind up doing is using hot glue. And that did want to go on the crack, so that is not optimal. I may need to cut a little bit more of that to make it a bigger opening. All right, now we're going to go with our third. All right, I'm going to let that dry and I'll be right back. All right, I know there's going to be a lot of tension when I open them up and try to put things in. I already have one tear here, so I want to be really mindful of that. I think what I want to do is turn it over and put reinforcement strips here and here. So I just have regular paper. Just going to run the glue stick. Reinforce it there. And I want to do the same thing on the other side. I don't necessarily have anything for the pockets now, but maybe the idea is with resolutions, each new thing I try that's artistic, maybe I can put something in this pocket that symbolizes that, and that would be a fun way to keep using the journal once January is over. So again, that's going to make the pocket smaller, but that's okay. All right, back to the front. On to the next thing. I'll be right back once I figure out what that is. All right, now I'm just going to see how it works in the page. So it fits right on there. I can shut and open it, and it's really cool because it's got paintbrushes sticking out of it. I like it. And no, it's not necessarily as flush as I wanted it to be with the back of here, so I'm gonna have to run something down here so that you can't see the paper. I will figure out how I'm gonna do that in a second. I think maybe, I don't know, I'll figure it out. Okay, so I'm going to try to get away with inking up the right-hand side of it black and then inking the page and see if that covers it up enough. If not, I'll perhaps go back with paint. I don't think that's going to be dark enough. Maybe just ink along the sides of here. See, if I put the brushes over a little bit more like I anticipated, then that wouldn't have been a problem. But I'm not going to be able to get away with that, and that will bother me. So, plan B. Okay, so I found a fun little piece of paper that I made by copying on my copier a napkin that I had received from a friend because I was working on a project and it was not going to work with a napkin because I was making snippets and it wouldn't have been thick enough. So I'm just going to use this piece and rip it with the ruler. Way bigger than I need it, but that's okay because, see, I didn't rip that end good. All right, that should work. I'm gonna bring my book back, and the idea is, whoops, this way. I'm gonna run this in here as far as I can. And then I'll have this over. And it'll just be a tiny little strip of almost white. You can't even see it pop out. Instead of that, and maybe whatever I put on this page, you won't notice so much. I just don't want to pull the eyes to something other than the page. So. It was by happy accident that the dimensions of this newspaper insert was the same dimensions long as a regular piece of paper. So I feel very fortunate about that. All right, I'm gonna literally try to shove this as far under as I can. It just makes measuring stuff a lot easier when things are as long as a piece of paper, or almost as long. All right, so that's pretty far in there, so that's good. That makes me happy. And now this can go over. Let me get rid of this piece here. Okay. Now I'm only going to glue down this side and down this side, and then the bottom, so that I can use this as a as 2 pockets, maybe 3. So I'm going to take my Fabri-Tac. Run a good amount of glue down here. Run a little line of glue down here. And run a pretty good amount of glue up here. Line it up with the page. And this page was actually a double page. I did a how to make a journal for Junk Journal January. And I like the fact that this is a double page because it has the heavy things on it. Also, the bulk of the rest of the journal is here. And I felt if I did it the other way and pointed it, then bulky things on the already bulk of all these pages would have been a bit much. But I can kind of get away with it here because it's the cover. So let me... Did I put it too far? I put it too far. Can't turn the pages. That's not good. Let me try to scooch it. Hopefully I have a little bit of time here. I didn't press it down too much. It's the pink one that's being a pain. Am I better? How will I do on the next page? The next page. Okay. Good. All right. Whew. I knew there was a reason why I had to glue that strip down. All right, so there you have it. There is my first resolution. I did have another one, which was go out more. If I put that together on another page, I'll film that too. Thanks for watching.